BTS News Today. When someone mentions the name Jungkook from BTS, one imagines a world star who has a strong charisma on stage, as well as a mysterious and complex person behind the camera. For years, Jungkook has been known as an idol who is good at maintaining relationships with fans, including through fan service, expressions of affection, or interactions made to please fans. Recently, however, the public has been taken aback by Jungkook's insightful statements implying his boredom with over-imposed fan service, and at the same time, how he chooses to show his true love in a more honest way, especially to BTS's best friend and fellow member Park Jimin. Jungkook's moment of honesty did not happen during an official press conference, nor through a lengthy post on social media. Instead, it happened in a snippet of an in-depth interview aired exclusively in one of Big Hit's internal documentaries that has not been widely released to the public, but has been leaked in limited circles. In the footage that has gone viral in the international ARMY community, Jungkook said he was tired of having to constantly fake emotions to please others, referring to the fan service that has been the subject of heated discussion by fans. "Sometimes I feel like I'm not myself," Jungkook said in the interview. "I know fan service is important, and I always try to give my best, but I want to love in a real way, not made up. And I hope the ARMY can tell the difference between what's sincere and what's just performative." This sentence immediately sparked a heated discussion on social media. Many felt that this was a sign that Jungkook wanted to be more honest in showing who was really important to him. And all speculation began to boil over when he publicly mentioned Jimin's name. "I never needed a script to show Jimin my affection," Jungkook continued with a slight smile. "What I did to him was not fan service. That's part of me. From my heart." That statement was enough to horrify the ARMY, especially those who have been following the development of the dynamics of the relationship between Jungkook and Jimin, or who are often referred to as Jungkook by fans. The relationship between the two BTS members has long been a public concern. They are known to be very close, but also often shrouded in mystery. The interview didn't just stop at confession. Jungkook then talks more deeply about what his love for Jimin looks like. "I don't know if this will be accepted by everyone, but I believe that compassion doesn't always have to be explained. I show my love to Jimin in my own way, sometimes through hugs, sometimes through silence, and sometimes simply by looking at him." Those words were like sparks that burned up the entire ARMY's online discussion forums in different parts of the world. Some respond to it as a form of deep platonic affection. Some interpret it as something more than that. But one thing is clear: Jungkook is no longer playing in the fan service world. He has stepped into a more personal, more honest, and more emotional direction. He wants the world to know that love cannot be limited by public expectations. And Jimin, in this context, becomes the center of that courage. Interestingly, Jungkook's statement comes just a few weeks after Jimin himself was the subject of conversation because he looked very emotional during one of his live broadcasts. In the broadcast, Jimin held back tears while talking about the friendly relationship between BTS members. "Sometimes people think we are only familiar in front of the camera," said Jimin at that time. "In fact, there are so many things they don't see. The things that keep us whole." Now, with Jungkook's confession explicitly stating that his love for Jimin was not a fan service, but something that grew from within him, the public is left wondering, have they been misjudging? Is it possible that all the closeness seen so far is not just a gimmick to please fans, but a reflection of the relationship of two men who understand each other, take care of each other, and maybe love each other? The reaction from the ARMY was certainly mixed. On Twitter, the hashtag #JungkookandJiminLove was trending worldwide in less than 2 hours after the video went viral. Many fans positively welcomed Jungkook's honesty, appreciating his courage to open up without fear of public judgment. They consider this as an adult step from an idol who has always performed perfectly, but now shows his fragile and human side. But not a few feel confused. Some longtime fans said that too many fans interpreted the BTS members' relationship in an exaggerated way. They fear that such a confession could be an unhealthy ingredient of exploitation. But in that long and exhausting debate, one thing that cannot be denied is that Jungkook has changed the narrative. In the past, K-pop idols were known not to show too intimate relationships with anyone, let alone fellow members. Everything that smells too close is considered a fan service, part of the business strategy. But when Jungkook decided to speak from the bottom of his heart, he challenged those boundaries. He chose to take off the mask of fan service and began to show the purest form of love, he thought. The story between Jungkook and Jimin is certainly not over. You could even say this is the beginning of a new chapter. Since that confession, a number of their old moments have gone viral again, from a silent hug backstage, a long stare between rehearsals, to little moments like the way Jungkook always cared about Jimin's health. Fans are starting to see it in a new context. No longer just a fan service to please, but perhaps a form of love that has been closely guarded. Some ARMY even created a special thread that summarizes the chronology of Jungkook and Jimin's relationship journey. From trainees, debuts, minor conflicts, to the most emotional moments in concerts in their personal lives. The threads were shared hundreds of thousands of times, and many said they saw true love in each of their interactions, love that may not necessarily be romantic, but certainly can't be ignored. Currently, neither Jungkook nor Jimin have given an official follow-up statement regarding the viral video. However, internal sources said that the agency would not take any action to suppress Jungkook's statement, as they believe that every member has the right to convey their emotions honestly. In fact, Big Hit is reportedly designing a full version of the documentary to be released globally, a decision that could change a lot in the way the public views K-pop idols. Jungkook may be tired of the fan service world, but in that exhaustion, he found the courage to show true love. And if the love fell on Jimin, then the public now remains to wait. What will happen next? Will Jimin reciprocate those feelings openly? Or will the two of them keep their relationship behind the scenes, away from the judgment of the world? Whatever happens, one thing is certain: honest love, even if it is not spoken in words, will always find its way. And Jungkook's love for Jimin has spoken louder than thousands of fan services have ever heard. A few days after Jungkook's confession video went viral, South Korean media outlets began to take the topic more seriously. One of the leading media outlets, Dispatch, even called Jungkook's statement a paradigm shift in interidal relations. Not because he confessed his feelings to a woman or someone from outside the industry, but because he blatantly rejected fan service and instead asserted that his love was real, and it was directed at Jimin. This has become a heated discussion, not only among BTS fans, but also among entertainment industry players. On the other hand, many pop culture observers call Jungkook's courage a symbol that the new generation of idols no longer wants to be trapped in false expectations. They want to love, feel, and show love in an authentic way. In previous interviews, BTS members have often expressed their desire to show their true side as human beings, not just entertainment products. However, Jungkook takes that honesty to a deeper level as he talks about love that is usually taboo for idols to talk about honestly, let alone under the global spotlight. After several days of excitement, Jimin finally appeared in a private live broadcast conducted in his practice room. Fans who followed the broadcast noticed that Jimin's facial expression looked very calm, but his eyes looked wet. "I can't talk much," Jimin said as he looked at the camera, "but I hear everything. And I just want to say, I know his heart." The sentence was very short, but the impact was tremendous. ARMY instantly filled the comment space with virtual tears and relentless support. Many considered it a form of Jimin's implied answer to Jungkook's confession. Simple words like, "I know his heart," describe a deep understanding and emotional bond that cannot be measured by popularity or fandom expectations. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking